Hi, welcome you all. Welcome to Python Made Easy, and today here I'm gonna show you how to build an Asyncio program just to handle coroutines. So first of all, you need to know that Asyncio is a library made in Python that allows you to run concurrent code using an await and async syntax here. So first of all, you need to know as well that Asyncio relies on an event loop. This is kind of a while true that executes coroutine and switches to them when it thinks that's necessary. So first of all, what I'm gonna do here is just create my main here. And next thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get my event loop here. And the way you do that is just get event loop. So of course you need to import Asyncio. You can install Asyncio using PyPy. So now that we got the event loop, we can create our first coroutine here, and I'm gonna call it hello. And let's pass a couple of arguments here. And what we are gonna do here is just sleep. Now this is a coroutine. So in order to run a coroutine, you need to wait in front of it. And we are gonna just sleep for 1 second. So in order to run this coroutine, the only thing that you need to do is just run until complete. Let's do hello, let's wait for 1 second, and let's print hi 1. So now here, I need some examples. So now if we do example here, that's gonna happen is nothing. Why it's happened nothing? Because I haven't printed nothing. So let's print it here. So how on? So we have executed our first coroutine now. So let's run a couple of coroutines together in a concurrent manner. What I'm gonna do first is just create a main coroutine here, and it's not gonna accept any argument. And what's gonna do here, so you need to know that in order to create tasks, in order to create a coroutine, in order to create concurrent tasks, so what you need to do is just call create task. And what we are gonna do is saying them before, but what we are gonna do is just call it a couple of times, and that will return a feature. Let's call that future 1, and let's call that future 2. So what's gonna happen here, what we want to do here is to just wait for one of them. So now we have scheduled these coroutines in the event loop, but what we need to do here is just wait for one of them at least, because if not, let's test that. So what do you think is gonna happen? Just pause the video and let me know in the comments what you think is gonna happen here. So if you run that, well, it's gonna happen hi 1 because we are calling hello, but I'm gonna call main, right? So what's gonna happen here? Well, nothing is gonna happen actually. Why? Because we haven't waited for it to finish. So actually it's scheduled in the event loop, but it arrives here at the end of the program, and boom, it's done. So what we are gonna do here, first of all, we are gonna call future 1. So we are gonna wait for this coroutine to finish, but at the same time that this is waiting for this to finish, this is gonna run concurrently. So what we are gonna see here is hi 1 and hi 2. So we have created our first 2 coroutines. We have executed our first 2 coroutines here in a concurrent manner. Now there is another way to execute coroutines here, and it's with gather, and you can do something like that. With gather you can run multiple coroutines in one sentence, and let's do something like that, something really similar than before. Let's do hi 2, and that's gonna return a feature that gathers all the coroutines that are inside of the statement. So we only need one statement here, and that's gonna bring us the same result. You see, so we have these 2 ways of executing concurrent code. So now let's do something else. This is an extra bonus. So what happens when we have a method that it's not concurrent, but we want to run this in a concurrent manner? Well, first of all, let's define that method. Let's call it hello 1, and let's pass the same arguments here, and let's pass string here. And what we are gonna do is to just wait for 1 second, but in a synchronous manner. just sleep for 1 second and just print the value here, right? So what will happen here if we do that? What's gonna happen, of course, it's gonna block the whole event loop. Let's do that. Let's call that high 3. Just for a matter of distinction. See? High 3 is executed and then high 1 and high 2. So that's blocking the whole event loop. So how can we run this in a concurrent manner? Well, we can do that using the event loop and the running executor. So there are different techniques what you can do here. I've seen some programs doing that. So you pass the loop on the main, you gather the loop here, gather the loop, and you can do something like that as well. You can do something like that. If event loop is none, then you can call Asyncio and you can get the loop just by doing that. And that's gonna be the same thing, right? So now we have the event loop here. So how can we run this hello one in a concurrent manner? Well, all you need to do is just run in executor, pass none. This none here is the thread pool. If you pass none, this will use a thread pool in order to run our method as a concurrent, in a concurrent manner. So now, in order to do that, we need another function that's partial, because we need a scalable there. And what happens here, in order to pass arguments, we need to use partial. Go check out the documentation, it's really useful. So let's use that. Let's call partial, 1 second of delay, and let's call that high 3. All right, so that's gonna return us another feature. Let's call that feature 2, for instance. All right, so if we do that, we need to wait for the future, right? So what's gonna happen here? And as you see, all the highs here are printed at the same time. With that means that hello 1 and hello 2, well, this hello 2, because there are 2, remember here, there are hello 1 and hello 2, are executed concurrently. So that's all, my friends. Hope that this has been helpful and hope that you have learned something. Okay, an extra tip here is that this event loop, this kind of API that we are using, this low level API. All right, so there exists a high level API that you can use as well, and that will be something like that: Asyncio run main, and you do that. So you comment that, you can command that, and it works the same way. See, here you have the introspection of the event loop, while here you don't need the event loop. It's the same thing. If you want to build up some libraries, you can use that low-level API, but if you're just going to run code, you can use high-level API. Well guys, that's all. Thank you for watching. If you think that has been helpful for you, just smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so I can bring you more of these videos. Just tell me in the comments if you think that's helpful or not. And see you in the next video of Python Made Easy. See ya!